rationalize it by saying that there was a phone survey conducted by one U.S. agency, one U.S. organization that showed Ahmadinejad had larger voter turnout. This is prior to the massive sort of, collection of people behind Mousavi. And then the other thing that you guys fail to address, I mean, your hearts are bleeding for the Iranian people that are suffering under these economic sanctions, and yet you don't seem to mention anything about the regime that on a daily basis abuses its people, threatens its people. After the elections, they not only abused and killed and tortured and murdered people in prisons, they would come out on a weekly basis and say, if you guys come on out, you're going to face massive retaliation, Islamic retaliation. And this is the day that you mentioned where the people attacked the police station. This is following the day when the Supreme Leader, who is, by the way, called the Supreme Leader, not a president, nothing, the same title that Hitler and Mussolini had. They were Supreme Leaders who came out and said, if you guys come out into the streets and practice your constitutional right to demonstrate, this is a constitutional right in the Iranian constitution that people have the right to mobilize and demonstrate peacefully, which 3 million people did the day after the fraudulent election. But then he said, if you guys come out into the street, you will face consequences. By that, he meant, I'm going to release my Basij, which is my paramilitary, to come and kill you. And that's what happened. And then in the crowds, you throw agitators and you create a semblance that the demonstrators are violent protesters. So how can you call yourself Iran experts and cover up this fact or not even mention it as a major issue that the Iranian people are under this brutal regime, which is in fact fascist, which in fact got its birth out of confrontation with the West, which Supreme Leader Khamenei has stated over and over again that they will not basically bow down to the United States, their sole existence, and they will never give up this status of confrontation with the West. That is what creates their identity. That's what gives them strength. And why do you think that such a regime is actually willing to negotiate? Such a regime is inherently anti-Iranian. They've stated it. They've said that we're against the Iranian doctrine and that we're Islamists. They have said it. So such a regime is not nationalistic. Why do they want enriched uranium so badly? Is it not just to solidify and prevent regime change and solidify their power over the Iranian oil wells and over the Iranian people for the next century, just like North Korea has done? You guys completely failed to address that issue.